It's a Tuesday morning in March, the same Tuesday morning you've lived 1,560 times. But this one is different. You're 52. You're sitting in your car in the office parking lot. For the last time, the resignation letter is on the passenger seat. You open your phone. $1,237,486. You don't tell anyone. Not the coworker who laughed at you in 2009. Not the friend whose BMW got repossessed 3 years ago. Not the wife you've been lying to for 23 years. Not your boss, who's about to find that letter on his desk in 40 minutes. You just sit there, watching the people you've worked with for 20 years walk into that building. Most of them will work another 15 years. You won't. And not one of them knows why. 30 years before the parking lot, before the $1 million, before the lies. You're 22. It's August. You just signed a paper at HR that says you work here now. Your first job. $42,000 a year. You walk to your cubicle. It's the size of a closet.
There's a calendar on the wall someone else left behind.
You sit down. You stare at the screen for a minute. You don't know it yet, but you're gonna sit at this exact desk for 30 years. 4 bosses, 2 cities, 1 wife, 2 kids, 1 secret. A secret you'll carry alone until the morning you turn 52.
But today, you don't know any of that. Today, you're just hungry. You go to lunch with the guy in the cubicle next to yours.
He orders the cheap sandwich, you order the expensive one. You pay with your debit card. Your checking account drops to $47. You don't care. You feel rich. You're not. And tomorrow morning, you'll do something small.
So small you'll forget you did it. It'll change the next 30 years of your life.
Tomorrow morning comes. You're hungover. You see a video on your phone. Some guy in a hoodie explaining compound interest. You barely understand it. But one number sticks. If you start at 23 and put away $300 a month, by 53, you'll be a millionaire. You watch it twice. You don't tell anyone. That afternoon, you walk into your bank during your lunch break. You set up an automatic transfer, $300 a month into an index fund.
The teller doesn't even look up. It takes 4 minutes. You walk back to the office. You sit down at your cubicle, and you forget you did it. Two weeks later, you're at lunch again. Same guy, same cheap sandwich. Yeah, I just put it all into that new crypto fund.
I started investing.
He laughs, out loud, in the middle of the cafeteria.
He says, $300 a month? Bro, that's a pair of shoes.
He says, by the time that's worth anything, you'll be dead.
He says, I'm putting mine into AMD. Up 40% this year.
You laugh too, because you don't know what else to do. You go back to your desk. You think about canceling it. You don't. You don't know why. But that decision, the decision to not cancel, that's the decision that builds everything. You just won't see it for 15 years. You're 26 now. 3 years in. You got a promotion last spring. 58,000 now. You still drive the same Honda. 200,000 miles on it. The check engine light has been on since March. You ignore it. Your best friend from college, let's call him Mark, calls you on a Friday night. Come outside. You go outside. He's standing next to a brand new pearl white BMW. He's grinning like he just won the lottery. He says, "Get in." You get in. It smells like new leather and money. He drives you around the block, twice.
He's talking the whole time. He says, 800 a month. Leased it yesterday.
He says, "Bro, you have to upgrade. That Honda is embarrassing." He says, "You're making 60 grand and driving a clunker. What are you doing with your life?" You don't answer, because the answer is, you have $11,000 in an index fund that nobody knows about. And 800 a month on a car payment would kill it. But you can't say that. He wouldn't get it. He'd laugh. So you nod.
Yeah, maybe next year.
You go home. You sit in your apartment with the lights off. You almost cancel the transfer. Your finger hovers over the button. 3 years of 300 a month. $11,000. Versus the look on Mark's face when he pulled up in that BMW. You don't cancel. But it's the second time you've thought about it. It won't be the last. You're 28 now. 2 years since the BMW. You're still driving the Honda. The check engine light is still on. Mark traded his BMW in for a new one last month. You don't ask how. You meet her at a friend's birthday party. A few months later, you're engaged. A few months after that, you're married. Small wedding. The Honda's still in the parking lot. The account is worth $8,000 now. You don't mention it. You tell her your salary. You tell her about your job. You tell her about your family. You don't tell her about the index fund. It doesn't feel like a lie. It feels like privacy. Something small. Something that's just yours.
She has student loans. You have student loans. You combine them on a spreadsheet.
At her kitchen table one Sunday afternoon, you add up your debts. You don't add up your assets. She doesn't ask. You don't offer. It's a small thing. So small you forget you did it. But this is the moment the secret begins. Not the kitchen floor, not the parking lot. Here, at a kitchen table, on a Sunday afternoon, adding up debts, while the $8,000 sits in an account she doesn't know exists. You promise her everything, except the truth about the account. You don't know it yet.
but you just signed up for 23 years of silence. You're 29. It's September. The year is 2008.
You've been married 11 months. You have $24,000 in the index fund.
It took you 6 years to save that. 6 years of $300 a month. 6 years of Mark laughing at your Honda. 6 years of the cubicle guy and his AMD stock. 6 years. $24,000. Then Lehman Brothers collapses. The market drops 38% in 2 weeks. Your $24,000 becomes 15. You lost $9,000 in 14 days. That's 3 years of your savings. Gone. Mark calls you on a Thursday. He says, "Did you see what's happening? I pulled everything out of my 401k yesterday. You should too. This thing is going to zero." You don't tell him you already have an index fund. You don't tell him it's bleeding. You just say, "Yeah, probably." You hang up.
You don't sleep that night. Or the night after. Or the night after that.
Saturday at 2 a.m., you're awake again. You go downstairs. You sit on the kitchen floor. With your laptop. The screen is the only light in the room. You open the brokerage account.
Let's wait one more year.
Why?
I want to save more for the down payment.
It's not a lie, but it's not the truth. The truth is, you have $51,000.
In an account she doesn't know exists. You could buy the house this weekend.
You don't.
She closes the notebook. She doesn't argue. She just nods. She kisses the baby. She walks back to bed. That night, you lie awake next to her. Your back hurts.
You happy at the job, son?
Yeah, I really am, Dad. It's going great.
Yeah, Dad. I'm good.
You never tell him about the account either.
You don't tell anyone. It's Tuesday morning.
Dad, what is that blinking light? Is the car okay?
You're driving the kids to daycare. Your older son asks from the back seat.
Dad, is the car okay?
"It's fine, kiddo."
Daddy, why is our car broken? You look at him in the mirror. He's 4.
"It's not broken, buddy. It's just old." He says, "My friend's daddy has a new car. It's silver." You don't say anything. You drop them off. You drive to work. At lunch, you look up used Toyotas. 32,000. You could pay cash. The account has 93,000. You don't buy it.
You go back to the Honda. You drive home. Your wife meets you in the driveway.
She has groceries. She looks at the Honda. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't have to.
That's the second time in a month she's looked at the car like that. You count the looks.
You're 38 now, 2 years after the Honda conversation. Tuesday morning, 8:47. You pull into the parking lot. Same spot you've parked in for 9 years. You shift into park. You pull out your phone. The brokerage app loads. 187,000.